What secrets lie buried on Gideon's mountain? Some places, no matter how beautiful, hold a darkness just beneath the surface. Gideon's mountain is one of them. By day, it's a breathtaking expanse of rugged peaks and dense, ancient forests. Hikers and nature lovers are drawn to its winding trails and stunning vistas. But as the sun begins to dip below the horizon, a different side of the mountain emerges. The shadows lengthen. The wind carries strange sounds through the trees, and the air grows heavy with stories of those who came to the mountain and never left. For decades, Gideon's mountain has been a nexus of unexplained events and chilling urban legends. It's a place where the line between natural beauty and unnatural mystery is blurred, where every rustle of leaves could be something more than just the wind. Today, we're venturing into the heart of these legends, to uncover the unsettling tales that have turned this picturesque landscape into a source of fear and fascination. Join me as we explore the dark history of Gideon's mountain. It always starts the same way. A car left in the trailhead parking lot. A tent with supplies still inside. A single hiking boot found miles from any known path. These are the last traces of the vanishing hikers of Gideon's mountain. Over the years, dozens of people have disappeared without a trace on its slopes. Official reports often cite the mountain's treacherous terrain and unpredictable weather, but the sheer number of cases and the lack of evidence have fueled darker speculations. Search parties, sometimes numbering in the hundreds, comb the dense woods for weeks, only to turn up nothing. It's as if the mountain itself swallows them whole. These aren't just statistics. They are stories of mothers, sons, and experienced mountaineers who stepped onto a trail and simply vanished from the face of the earth. Their fading missing person posters, tacked to old trees, serve as a constant, somber reminder that not everyone who enters these woods comes back out, and if you stray from the marked paths, you might find yourself in a part of the forest the locals call the Whispering Woods. It's a section of old-growth timber where the trees grow unusually thick, blocking out most of the sunlight even at midday. Here, an unnerving silence hangs in the air. A silence that's often broken by what sounds like disembodied voices. Hikers who have stumbled into this area report hearing faint whispers just over their shoulder. Words they can't quite make out, seeming to come from all directions at once. Some say it sounds like a conversation happening just out of sight. Others describe a single, mournful sigh that seems to follow them until they flee the woods. Is it just the wind funneling through the dense canopy and strange rock formations? Or is it the lingering voices of the lost, their whispers forever trapped in the deep, dark woods of Gideon's mountain? The feeling of being watched, of not being alone, is so powerful here that even the most skeptical visitors don't linger for long. Perhaps the most famous of the mountain's apparitions is the ghost of the Ridge. This legend dates back to the late 19th century, during a short-lived gold rush on the mountain. The story goes that a prospector named Silas, after finally striking a rich vein of gold, was caught in a tunnel collapse during a sudden, violent storm. His body was never recovered, but his spirit, it is said, never left the mountain. On clear evenings, just as the sun sets, a lone, shadowy figure is sometimes seen walking along the highest, most treacherous ridgeline. Witnesses describe a tall, gaunt man carrying what looks like a pickaxe over his shoulder. Silhouetted against the dying light, he walks slowly, deliberately, as if still searching for the gold that cost him his life. He never acknowledges anyone who sees him, and as the last ray of sunlight vanishes, so does he. Is he a warning to others about the dangers of the mountain, or a soul forever bound to his earthly greed? But of all the tales told about Gideon's mountain, one is whispered with the most fear. The legend of the collector. This isn't a ghost story. This is a story about something or someone who is believed to still live deep within the mountainous untamed wilderness. The legend speaks of a recluse, a hermit who has made the most inaccessible parts of the forest his home. He avoids all contact with the outside world and is fiercely territorial. They say he watches the trails from a distance, and if a hiker wanders too far, gets lost, or finds themselves alone and vulnerable, he sees it as an invitation. He doesn't harm them, not directly. Instead, he collects from them a souvenir, a boot, a compass, a backpack, a jacket, something to add to his hoard of items taken from those who trespassed on his domain. The story becomes truly terrifying when you consider the encounter one lone camper claimed to have had. She had set up her tent far off trail, seeking solitude. In the middle of the night, she was awoken by the sound of her tent zipper slowly, deliberately being opened. Frozen with fear, she saw a silhouette in the moonlight, a large, stooped figure. It didn't enter, it just reached inside, its hand brushing past her face, and picked up the small pocket knife she had left by her sleeping bag. The figure then slowly zipped the tent, closed, and disappeared back into the darkness. She packed up and ran, not stopping until she reached her car at dawn. She never saw its face, but she knew she had just met the collector. Was he just taking a souvenir, or was he leaving a message? A warning that next time, he might collect something more personal. Now, it's easy to get swept up in the fear and folklore, but what if there are logical explanations for these phenomena? Gideon's Mountain is notoriously difficult to navigate. The trails are poorly marked, the weather can change in an instant, and hidden crevasses and steep drop-offs are common. It's entirely plausible that the vanishing hikers simply met with unfortunate accidents. They remains lost to the vast, rugged wilderness. What about the whispering woods? Auditory pareidolia is a real phenomenon, where the brain interprets random sounds, like wind rustling through leaves or the calls of distant animals, as human voices. The unique topography of that specific forest area could create acoustic effects that trick the human ear. And the ghost of the ridge. At sunset, the low-angled light can create long, distorted shadows and optical illusions. A strangely shaped rock or a lone, weathered tree could easily be mistaken for a human figure from a distance, especially when your mind is already primed by a spooky story. Even the collector could be explained. It could be an amalgamation of stories about various real-life recluses who have lived on the mountain over the years, embellished into a single, monstrous figure. The story of the camper could have been a nightmare, or a close encounter with a curious bear. So if we can explain away the ghosts, the whispers, and the disappearances with science and logic, why do these legends persist? Why does Gideon's Mountain continue to hold such a powerful grip on our imagination? It's because these stories tap into something deep within us, a primal fear of the unknown, of the dark woods, and of what might be watching us from just beyond the firelight. The mountain is a place where civilization ends and the wild begins. Logic can tell us that the whisper we heard was just the wind, but the part of our brain that has been evolving for millions of years still tells us to run. The legends of Gideon's Mountain are more than just ghost stories. They are a reflection of our own anxieties about being small and vulnerable in a world that is still vast, mysterious, and untamed. Perhaps the truth doesn't matter as much as the feeling the mountain gives you. A feeling that you are a guest in a very old, very powerful place. And that maybe, just maybe, some mysteries are best left unsolved. What do you think? Do you believe the legends? Or is there a rational explanation for everything? I'd love to hear your own local urban legends in the comments below. Let's share the stories that make our own hometowns a little more mysterious. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more explorations of the strange and unexplained. Thanks for watching. Stay curious and stay safe on the trails.